Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you guys for tuning in. We are currently live, and we're actually up quite early this morning. Some people call it late, I call it early. It is currently 3:49 in the morning. You know it is early when the alarm hasn't gone off yet. Also, bear with me. I do currently have a fan on over there, trying to blow a little bit of heat across the good old Sony A7 IV because last night or yesterday I was doing a live, and I ended up having my camera reach thermal shutdown, which is kind of unfortunate. So I figured I'd implement the fan. Hopefully the mic doesn't pick it up too much. I have a noise gate and noise suppression set up. I might at some point like tweak with the settings just a little bit more to try to eliminate any fan noise or any room ambiance. Do keep in mind I'm in a pretty large room. If I had to guesstimate, it's probably a good 10 feet from wall to wall, and then I have a very long expansion behind me that just goes straight, probably for a good 20 feet if I had to guess. So I'm trying my best. I do need to do some form of noise suppression at some point, but in the meantime it works. And then I've also got a little breakfast. I'll show you guys what I'm working with. For some reason, it doesn't want to focus on the sausage, but I got you. Hold on. Whoo, look at that camera quality, baby. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'll never get tired of it. But anyways, so obviously I got a little breakfast. We got some blueberry waffles. Gluten-free, of course. For those that don't know, I try my best to avoid gluten. But we got some gluten-free waffles with some blueberries, of course. And then on top of that, we got to have a little protein. I've been avoiding eggs because for some reason eggs make me feel sick. So we've got some, okay, it's just water. So, and we've also got some Applegate chicken sausages. These are actually my favorite. They're amazing. You can get them at Walmart. I like to get a large bag of them. But so we got some breakfast. Let me go ahead and pull up what I'm actually going to be working on. Let me go ahead and just set my other. There we go. All right, so we're actually gonna be working on the Mac, and I have a little bit of college work that I have to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up real quick. I'm actually doing an assignment in Pro Tools or Logic, I think. So let me go ahead and pull that session up, and then we'll go from here. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna pull this session over here. Let's see. All right, I forgot. I got to pull it over to this monitor. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So I was already watching the prerequisites for this assignment. This is called tuning oscillators. For those that don't know, I am also enrolled in college for doing audio production, so I don't just do the JDM things. I do need to make a page for my audio production side of things, as well as going deeper into my setup, like how I have my mic and things of that nature set up, the audio interface that I use. I do plan on doing a video on it. However, as of right now, I just haven't had a chance to because I stay so damn busy with this with college. So for those that don't know, I'm enrolled in I do everything online, which I like because it's a lot more flexible for myself. I go to a college named Full Sail University, and I'm an online student, which is pretty awesome. One of the things I like about being an online student is I don't have to physically worry about showing up on campus. Not a big deal, but I stay busy with my pops doing handyman, things of that nature. So when I'm not, when I have free time, which is very rare because I do an accelerated learning program, I'm currently working on 2 degrees. So I'm working on getting my associates, which I'm real close to, about this close to getting my associates, and then I have to get my bachelor's afterwards. So for those that don't know, an associate's is a 2-year degree. Typically it takes 2 years to acquire, and then a bachelor's degree is typically a 4-year degree. So if you were to do the math, 2 + 4 = 6. So Cumulatively, if it wasn't an accelerated learning program, I would be spending about 6 years just doing college to get my associate's and my bachelor's degree in audio production. Well, I happen to be doing an accelerated learning program, so it keeps me very busy. And believe it or not, since I started in October of 2024, I have not stopped college. So nonstop. Every month I have new courses. Every week I have new classes. So what I just had up on screen is, let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. So currently I am working on, and then this is all their online platform. I'm not at all affiliated with Full Sail University. I just happen to go to college here. And let me go ahead and pull this up. So as you can see, I've got this assignment. I had a couple of assignments that I ended up turning in late, so I'm waiting for my grade to go back up. Once these couple other ones are in, I should be back to almost a 90 in this class. So they're 88.9. And I have a meeting coming up this morning, hence why I'm also up bright and early. And we're gonna come on down. Still need to wait to get graded for this assignment. And it'll bring that from a 64 to probably an 80 if I had to guess. And then I have a couple more assignments to buffer this one. I ended up getting a couple questions wrong on this this quiz, which is weird because I did it 4 times and I just could not seem to get it right. It was only 9 questions, but that's how it is. Sometimes can't anticipate to always know everything. That's why I'm going to college for it. Anyways, we have a couple of things that I was working on yesterday that I finished up. We did tempo mapping. I'm waiting for this to be graded from my instructor. And then I've also got tuning oscillators, which is the newest assignment that I have to work on. And this is actually a pretty cool assignment, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this video through so I can help get the concept across to some people who might not do audio production or things of that nature. And just bear with me real quick because I want to make sure I got my audio coming out through my speakers. All right, cool.
But we may not be able to identify if it's sharp or flat when compared to the original source or the rest of the music. It takes some regular ear training to learn to identify sharp or flat.
Oh, bear with me too. Let me go ahead and pop up my green screen real quick. I'm gonna pop up my green screen so I can remove the background when I have things of this nature pulled up. Let me go ahead and just set my green screen back to on, chroma key, and bingo. Screen is green, magic baby. All right. So currently, like I said, this is the assignment I'm working on. I have to watch this video, and I already did start to watch this video, but basically we have a reference track, which is number 1. We've got oscillator on number 2, which is what we need to mess with to make the oscillator on track number 2 sound the same as the reference track on track number 1. And then down here on track number 4 is where we're actually recording at. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play this through so we can get, I already did start watching this video, but I figured what the hell, I don't have anything else to do. I'm already up bright and early. For those that don't know, it is currently 3:47 here on the West Coast. So I'm up bright and early. Like I said, we got a little breakfast. If my camera would like to focus, whenever, you know, just take your time. There we go. When she does focus, you see that quality, baby. Anyways, we got a little breakfast, and I'm just starting off my morning. Hopefully everybody is having a great start to their Thursday morning as well. Hope you guys are having a good time. And like I said, I'm just about to play this video through so we can get the concept. And then what we have to do is, so the oscillator, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it's referred to as an oscillator in this assignment. We have to basically make this reference track on track 1. I'm sorry, track 2 named oscillator. We need these here examples. So here, this one, this 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so on. All of these red reference tracks, we need to match the same sonic properties as the reference track. And there's only really one thing that we need to do. And this instructor is going to break it down, but this is currently what I'm working on, so I'm going to let this rock.
You'll learn to distinguish. As a recording engineer, producer, you need to be able to identify.
Also, thank you guys all for jumping into the chat. For those that don't know, this is a little bit different from what I traditionally do. However, since I'm enrolled in college for audio production, I figured I might as well jump on here. I already have to do the work, so why not make some content out of it? And I will be making another page strictly for audio production, things in my behind the scenes of my setup, how I have things set up running. Maybe we'll do some sessions, things of that nature, but I am still learning, so I do not mean to come on here and ever sound like a guru. I do a lot of different things, and it keeps me very busy going to college, so I just figured I would at least share it with you guys so you can get a little bit of the behind the scenes of some of the other things that I do, other than just talking about cars, other than just working on my 88 Supra, things of that nature. Also, for those that don't know, I do have a car page. It is SANGUINE.Supra, Sanguine Supra. That's me on TikTok and Instagram. And if you guys go on my page, you click on the bio, you'll see my car page if you want to see the car without me yapping.
Tuned with the music. And a well-trained recording engineer should be able to identify tuning pitch and EQ frequencies. The first step towards learning to hear EQ frequencies is just learning to hear tuning. So we're going to start off with this basic matching pitch exercise.
So like this instructor just said, we have to match the pitch from the reference track to the oscillator. So I'm gonna let this video play for a little minute. I'm not gonna play it through its entire 14-minute entirety because I already have this session pulled up right over here, which I will actually, let me go ahead and just pull this over here real quick, just so you guys can also see this when it's time. And I forgot I can do this with Mac. This is one of my favorite things. So we can actually pull up the track here, and we got the video over here. I think, you know what I might do instead? I think I'm gonna separate these two. Here's what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna make this its own session, right? So let me just go ahead and play this through real quick. Reference. Okay. And I'm gonna let this video play out some more. So we've got the reference tracks. And then, for example, we've got the oscillator track. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute this, or I can just solo it actually. So as you can hear, that is definitely not the same as the reference track. So we're gonna be using the reference track as our example. This is what we want it to sound like, is the reference track, and the oscillator, aka track 2. These are how everything currently sounds. So we need to make changes to make everything on this track 2, everything from example 1 through 10 sound the same as the reference track 1 through 10. So that's obviously quite different from what we have here. It's horrible. I know it's horrendous, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna let the video play through a little bit more.
This is in Logic, and it requires that you match two pitches using an oscillator and record your matching pitch on the track provided. An oscillator is what generates the sound in a synthesizer. In this application, we're going to match pitches on the track 2 oscillator to the reference pitches on track 1 using just the semitone knobs or half-step knobs on a retro synth oscillator, which is on track 2. Now, half-steps or semitones think of a guitar, every fret on a guitar, or every key, every black and white key on a piano. Those are the half-steps. So I'm going to click on track 2, and you will see over here on the left-hand side is the retro synth oscillator. You click on that, and this comes up. That's the oscillator that we're going to use. Now, out of all these knobs, on your own time, it's definitely cool to take some time to play with all these different knobs and create sounds. But right now...
All right, so like the instructor just said, basically, so we need to match the sound from these reference tracks right here. on track 1, we need to make them match on track 2. So this is a synth, and then these are the oscillator. So if I go ahead and pull up the retro synth right here, he's messing with this semitone knob, and I can actually do a quick example of what he is actually doing, this is the assignment anyway. So I'm going to play the reference track real quick. We'll just solo it. I know some of these sound horrible. Bear with me. I know they sound like shit, but it is what it is. It's college work. I have to do it anyway, so I figured why the hell not go live and do it. So we got our reference track, right? So we want it to sound like that. We're going to play our oscillator on the synth. So as we can tell, this is a lot higher than it should be. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this semitone knob down. See how much closer that is? So we can go ahead and unsolo this track. Listen to the reference track one more time. Okay, so I think I went down a little bit too far. We're gonna bump up the semitone knob to about -5s. So -5 semitones. So, okay, play back the reference track real quick. Just solo this. Okay. All right, I think it's gotta go up a little bit more, I think, or like right about here. Play back the reference track. And the reference track is actually a little bit higher, so I'm gonna bring the semitone up like maybe 1, maybe 2. Yeah, it looks like it goes by 1. I don't think it goes by decimals, so we're just gonna... I'll bring it up 1 more, and we're gonna see if that's how it sounds proper. I would say that matches. Let's bring it up 1 more just to double check. I think it's gonna be 0 semitone. Also, thank you guys for tuning into the live. I appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday morning. Like I said, I'm just doing some college work. For those that don't know, I am currently enrolled in college doing audio production, working on getting my associate's and my bachelor's degree. Got a little breakfast. So currently I'm just working on getting this assignment done. Whenever my camera would like to focus, there you go. It's funny. It's like I got to say focus for it to focus. So yeah, I got some blueberry waffles with some blueberries, and just rocking and rolling. We're getting this assignment done. We've got the reference track, which we need to match the these 10 examples on track number 2. So I'm going through right now. We've got a video to reference right here, where our instructor goes through and is basically messing with this 1 semitone knob on the retro synth oscillator. Okay, and I think I've matched this first example pretty dang well. I'm gonna go ahead and just play this back 1 last time just to make sure. So this is our reference track on track 1. Okay, and this is our track that we're currently working on. Man, that's perfect. That's it right there. And I can tell because right now I have both of the tracks soloed, so it's playing both of them simultaneously, and I'll just go ahead and play the reference track 1 more time. Right, and we're gonna unsolo that. So that I would call a match. So we are at 1 semitone or 1S on this knob here on our retro synth plugin. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close that out real quick. And okay, so example 1, boom, nailed it, done. Okay, so now we're gonna go back. We're gonna play reference track example number 2. Let me go ahead and just click on this here. Okay. So this is example 2. This is our reference track. So we want our end result to sound like this. Same with how this is what we wanted our end result of example 1 to sound like. So reference is gonna be what we're referencing, everything here for these 10 examples, and then oscillator on track 2 is what we need to change to sound like the reference track. Okay, so that's what our reference for example number 2 is supposed to sound like. We're gonna go to oscillator, solo it, pull up our retro synth plugin, and I'm gonna minimize this a little bit just because it's a little large. Let's see, can I change the view? Let's go to maybe 50%. That's way small. Okay. Let's go 75 maybe. That's more like it. All right, cool. Still don't feel like fiddling with it. Okay, so this is a lot lower. All right, so it sounds like we're gonna have to bring this up a little bit. Okay, play the reference track real quick. I think I gotta go up a little bit more. Let's just play that one more time. Okay, back to the example track, and then I'm gonna bump it up to 6S or 6 semitones. So that's going up, it's raising the pitch compared to down. If I were to turn the semitone knob downward, so like this, it's gonna lower the pitch. So I'll just play that for an example. Now it's like a bass, you can hear the bass. Okay. Okay, so I think it's 6. We're just going to use that as an example. Perfect. Okay, so that is the perfect pitch. So that is exactly what we needed to do. So now, example 2 on track 2, oscillator 2, is now the same as the reference track. So I'm going to play it for you guys. The only thing that I've been messing with is the semitone. So the semitone is either going to pitch it downward or pitch it upward, depending on if I turn this knob to the left, aka downward, I'm pitching it down, or up, where I'd be pitching it up, okay? So that's how it sounds, and then this is what our reference track is like. And then if we play both of them at the same time, this is what it sounds like. So you can tell that the tonal characteristics are exactly the same. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out retro synth. We're gonna move on to example number 3, because I'm pretty sure that number 2 is now proper. So this is a gritty, like synth bass type of sound, and I'm gonna get a little hot sauce in the mix. Just bear with me real quick. I don't want my breakfast to go cold. Okay. All right. And then we're gonna play our example. Let me go ahead and unsolo the reference track. All right, so I can already hear that this is already higher than the reference track. Okay, so the reference track is a lot lower. So we're gonna pitch this down by a couple semitones, pull up our retro synth plugin, and we're gonna take the semitone knob and bring it downward, bring it down just a couple. And it sounds like it's actually a little bit lower than that. Quite lower than that, in fact. Okay, so we're gonna bring it down from, I think that's 6S, yeah. Let's bring it down to 0. All right, it's actually lower than that, so I'm gonna unsolo the reference track. And we're gonna bump this down even lower. Like, let's go with 0 for just a second. I hope I didn't mess with that, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. All right, now let's play the reference track back. So what I'm doing right now is I'm matching the pitch from the reference track, everything on track 1, which is actually, I forgot that I've got the green screen. Everything here, so all these examples, I'm pointing at 8 and 9, for example, but I'm way over on the other side of the session, which is that over there, damn, this shit is throwing me off. Over here, down over that way. Mind you, I'm looking at my monitor and I gotta figure out which way I'm pointing, but over there on the other side of the project is where we're currently working on. Okay, so we've got these 10 examples across the top, and basically I have to match the pitch So I've already done the first two. So the reference track is what we want it to sound like. And then track number 2 here, where it says oscillator, which is a synth, we're messing with the semitone either up or down to change the pitch and to make them match. So that was example 1. So you can hear those match. And then we're gonna move on to example 2. Right? I think this might be actually a little bit lower than I was anticipating. All right, actually it is. So I'm gonna actually have to bring this one up a little bit, just a tiny bit. I think it's gonna be 1 semitone. Okay. Can I press S? I can press S, okay. So used to working in other DAWs. Is this GarageBand? No, this is actually, this is Pro Tools. So Pro Tools is a little bit more advanced than GarageBand. GarageBand is like a, GarageBand is very similar to this. It looks exactly the same. However, I'm sorry, not Pro Tools. I meant to say this is Final Cut Pro. My apologies. Right? No. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Final Cut Pro is Apple's editing software. This is Logic Pro. My apologies. I work with so many different softwares, I oftentimes forget what I'm working with. This here is Logic Pro, so it is very similar to GarageBand, and I also do have GarageBand on my Mac, which is right here. It looks a lot different, or not a lot different, but it's just got a lot more advanced features. Like for example, we've got the mixer, we got the mixer view, so we can see our different tracks. We got the track window, we got the edit window, things of that nature. We've also got our sample library over here. We can also close that out. But yeah, this is Logic Pro. My apologies. So pretty similar to GarageBand, just a little bit more advanced. This is actually Apple's in-house premier audio editing suite, also known as a digital audio workstation or workspace, commonly referred to within the industry as a DAW. And this is how most modern music is created, is with a DAW, short of being recorded live or just being different. You started into making beats and stuff, so you've just been using GarageBand. Hey, GarageBand works, especially if you've already got a Mac or even like an iPad or an iPhone. GarageBand works great. GarageBand is a great intro, and it'll teach you a lot of the basics without being over the top complicated. So Kyron, I would definitely say, definitely keep at it, keep working with it. You'll learn a whole lot more, obviously with arrangement and chord progressions and things of that nature, the different backbeat grooves, the way that beats are made and laid out, the way that different types of music is recorded and laid out. But yeah, this is Logic. This is also a Apple program. Like I said, I do have GarageBand. I'll open up GarageBand real quick. You can just so you can see some of the examples. Just give me 1 second. Bear with me. Kyron, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Also, everybody that's just tuning in, I hope you guys are having a great morning, a good start to the Thursday morning. Currently, it is a little past 4 o'clock here on the West Coast. I promise it'll focus. It'll focus. My camera likes to focus on my face, though. Anyways, it's just past 4 o'clock here on the West Coast. I'm currently working on some college work. For those that don't know, I do a lot of things. Let me go ahead and put my password in real quick. I do a lot of things. However, mainly I figured take a break from the car stuff that I normally talk about and jump into, why not just go live and do some of the college work? I already have to do it anyways. So I figured I would hop in here and take advantage of being able to do it on live. So I'm going to just open up an empty session real quick. And and it's basically got a lot of the similarities as Logic has. However, it's a lot more simple, so you can already tell there's a whole lot less buttons. Pretty advanced sample library, so this is where you can find all your, your drum kits, your bass sounds, your guitar sounds, keyboards, everything of that nature. GarageBand definitely works. Definitely works. It's just not as complex. So that's simply how GarageBand looks. And I'm gonna close out. Actually, before I close out, let me pull up Logic just so you can see. So this is some of the differences. Obviously, you got a little bit more across the top. You've got the mix window, which I don't believe there's a mixer session. So on the mixer, this is commonly how you will actually mix and or master tracks, by getting the levels of each individual element of the track to where it needs to be. So there's a couple of differences between Logic and GarageBand. GarageBand, like I said, is very simple. It's meant to be simpler. It's probably one of the easier. If I had to say personally, I think that GarageBand is a lot simpler than some of the other DAWs out there on the market. And the cool thing is, GarageBand, if you have an Apple phone, is that free on Mac? GarageBand, what I was just about to say is GarageBand is free on just about all Apple devices. Logic, however, on the other hand, is not a free program. I believe it is about $299. I think it's about $300. The cool thing, though, is once you have purchased it, you get lifetime free updates. And the other thing that I really like about Logic Pro X is, although it's a little bit more advanced and features certain things like the mix window and things of that nature for being able to mix and master tracks and things of that nature, balance your levels, throw in plugins, do effects, create auxiliary things of that nature. I like it because it's pretty simple. The other cool thing is you can go ahead and take your headphones. So I like to oftentimes bring my Mac with me. I've got a MacBook Pro over here. You can't see it because it's out of frame of the camera, but I like to bring my MacBook Pro places oftentimes. Like I have this one spot that I'll go to, and oftentimes I don't always bring my studio headphones, which are these. These are a pair of Beyerdynamic. I think these are DT770 Pro X's. No, these are DT700 Pro X's, so I'll actually just show you real quick. So these are my studio headphones. These are what I use for monitoring. You see the DT700 Pro X right there. These are pretty dang comfortable, but I don't always feel like wearing these. I don't mind it when I'm in the studio or when I'm working on college work, but when I like to leave, sometimes I like to just bring my AirPods, and that's one of the things I can't do with certain DAWs. So like Pro Tools, not a fan of my Apple AirPods at all. Like, it just will not work. I have to have it coming out of the speakers, and sometimes I'll go places where I just want to be able to bring the Mac and I just want to be able to work on something and hear it in my headphones without having to bring my studio headphones. Like, then I have to have extra space in my bag, and then have, sometimes it's just, I know it probably sounds funny, but sometimes it's nice to be able to pull up a session and be able to work on it wirelessly. I know it sounds funny. Yes, you have to be concerned about latency. Is it a big deal? No, not really. Not with what I mainly do, just for referencing the track, like listening to it. But that is something to consider that I like about Logic over working with Pro Tools or something of that nature, where I either have to have studio headphones with me or just be acceptable with whatever I am working on coming straight out of the Mac speakers. Not a big deal, but definitely something to keep in mind when it comes down to like if you like to bring your computer places, or if you want to be other places where you potentially don't want to be interrupting people, or maybe you're at school and you're bored, so you're like, whatever, I want to mess with something other than schoolwork. So it's kind of nice to be able to have your AirPods, throw them in, and it just works with Logic compared to, like I said, I don't know about FL Studio, but I definitely know that Pro Tools is not a big fan at all when you're trying to play just like a normal session. Anyways, though, getting back to this assignment, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Did I already close out GarageBand? All right, I did. So currently we've got our reference track. I am just playing back reference track example 2 on track 1, and we've got the oscillator, which is a synth, here on track 2, and we have to adjust the semitone, so the pitch up or down. So up would be if I turn this knob to the right. Here you can actually hear it. Okay. And then our reference track would be this guy here. So I can actually turn down the oscillator so low if I pitch it down that this basically turns into a bass. Pretty interesting. Synths are so awesome. I'll be honest with you, synths are amazing. So I turned this high pitch into basically a bass. I don't know if you guys can hear it coming out of my sub, just because the way that I have my audio set up, I actually have my microphone picking up the audio until I can figure out how to get it routed back into the audio interface, which I am recording and streaming on my Windows PC. This is all being done on my Mac. Still trying to troubleshoot the audio, but in the meantime, it works. Regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and pitch this back up. So we just want to make sure that this matches the reference track. So it actually sounds like it's a little bit higher. So I'm going to bump this up by like 2 semitones to 3. I'm going to go up 1 more semitone. 2 more maybe? Let's see. I'm gonna bump this down. Let's go up one. Let's go up like 2 more just to make sure. Okay. All right. So I think I need to actually go down like 1 or 2 semitones. So we're just gonna take this knob and bring it down. Let's go down to 5. You know what? Let's go to 6 real quick and let's listen to it. So I think I gotta bump this down 2 more semitones. All right, I think that's pretty damn close. I might have to go down or up 1 more semitone. So like I said, I'm trying to get this here example on track 1, or I'm sorry, track 2 to be the same as the example on track 1, the reference track. So the reference is what we're trying to make track 2 sound like. So like I said, I'm gonna play this back real quick. This is track 1. Go ahead and solo this, and this is track 2. So I'm pretty sure this one is 1. Unsolo it. All right, so I'm pretty sure that is proper. All right, so that sounds to be just about right. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to track 2, or I'm sorry, example 2 of track 2. We'll listen to the reference track 1 more time and keep going. Close this out and reopen our example. Okay, so we're going to solo the reference track real quick. Okay. Hey BJ, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Once again, I hope you guys are having a good morning. I am just smacking down some some college work, getting it done. And some blueberry waffles with some blueberries, in fact. Pretty amazing. Once again, we've got track 1, which is all of our examples, references. There's 10 of them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on to the end of the session over here. And on track 2, we have the oscillator. So these are both synths. However, we are manipulating the oscillator to either pitch up or pitch down in semitones the synth so that it matches reference track 1, whichever example we were working with. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Okay, so we're going to unsolo the track so we can listen to what we currently have and how we need to manipulate it. So this is actually lower in my ear than what this is. So this here on track 2 needs to go down. Or I'm sorry, up in fact. So yeah, reference track example 2 is higher pitched than what we're currently working on. So we're gonna bump this up by 1 more semitone. Also, thank you guys all for jumping in. Like I said, this is not my traditional style of content. I figured though, since I already have to do this college work, what the hell, I might as well jump in and take care of it. So that's currently what I'm working on. Let me just go ahead and real quick, let me just check the camera, make sure it's all good. All right, camera seems to be all good. I was having some overheating issues yesterday, so just wanted to make sure everything's all good with it. Probably gonna have to get a little external fan to put on the back of the monitor screen. For some reason, my camera has not been happy recently, so soon here I actually need to get a different camera body. I'm using a Sony a7 IV camera body with a Grandmaster 50mm 1.4 lens. I love this lens, but the camera body, man, it just does not love the heat. It does not love it. Anyways, though, we shall proceed. Okay. All right, so we need to take oscillator here and bump this up by like maybe 2 more semitones. Right there, that's it. Bingo. Okay, so now if we listen to this reference track, references on track 1, example 2, if you listen to it, I'm listening for the pitch of the synth. So how low is it? How high is it? So I've just now noticed what it is. Okay, you can listen to the tonal characteristics of it, and then here is what we now have. Bang on, spot on, right on the money. Okay, so that is exactly what we needed to do. Okay, so we're gonna move on to example number 3. Okay, excuse me. And we're gonna go ahead and solo track 1, example 3. Okay, so that's what we needed to sound like, and then here is what we have currently. So immediately my ear is telling me lower, we need to go down. So we need to pitch this down by probably 2 to 4 semitones. Okay, so I think I just went down 4 or 6 semitones. So this needs to go up a little bit. This one's kind of throwing me off. This one is kind of throwing me for a loop, not gonna lie. It's all good. Just gonna keep listening to it. Trying to nail down this exact example of what semitone it is. Okay. This sounds like it needs to go lower. All right, so I think that's it. Not -3, I think it's -2. It might be -1, but I need to listen to it one more time. I think it's that one right there. Bingo, that's it. That's it for sure. Excuse me. So I'm gonna go ahead and unsolo this track. And we got the reference track. So we are currently working on example 3. We need to make our synth oscillator on track 2, which is going to be right here. You can see the number 2. We need this third example, right, to sound like our reference track. So here's our reference track that it needs to sound like, and then we're going to make some changes. I think I just nailed it down. I'm pretty sure it's -3 semitones. So this was pitched way up before, so I had to pitch this back down to get it to sound the way it does now. Okay. Go back to reference track, unsolo it. I think that's pretty spot on. Okay. I don't know. I think it's 1. Or is it lower than that? Is it 2? I don't know. This example here is kind of throwing me off. I think it's -2. Okay, I think it's okay. After messing with this for a little bit, I originally thought it was gonna be -2, but I think it's actually 2 because of when I listen to this long portion where it doesn't like have that like wobble. That's the best term I'm gonna use to explain it. Where it has like this flutter. I believe that it's gonna be +2 semitones because it matches pretty damn well. Like when I play the reference track back, right? Hold on. Hear how it rides that note, like that sound out? Hold on, let's just play this back. Man, this one is really throwing me off. All right, so I think this is pretty close. I think this is as close as I can get it. This example is really throwing me off, though, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I think that's as close as I can get this one. I mean, I can go one more maybe. See, this is too high to me. I think it's 4. I don't know. This one's really been throwing me for a loop. I think that's it. Also, thank you guys for the likes. Thank you for the follows. I really appreciate it. This is not the traditional content that I make. However, I need to do this college work anyway, so I figured what the hell, I'll go live and get it done. So far, this is coming along pretty good. I'm going to go full screen on just what I'm working on, and let me just double check the temperature of the camera, make sure it's all good. Yeah, not bad, not bad. All right. I'm gonna play example 4. Bear with me, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. I don't know. This track is really throwing me for a loop right now. All right, y'all, I'm back, rocking and rolling. All right, we got a little bit more to take care of on this assignment. We are here on example number 4. Go ahead and throw my beanie on. We'll switch up hats. Trying to break this hat in. This one's brand new and it's still tight. Go ahead and plug my phone in too while I'm at it. All right, so right now we're going to listen to example 4. And the reference track. All right, so this is actually a lot higher, so I need to bump this up. Open up our retro synth. Just gonna bring that up like 2. Okay, so right now I'm trying to match this sound of the reference track for oscillator example number 4. I think that's it. So I can kind of tell too, because when the two kind of like mesh together, you can tell that you're on the right note. Whereas before, like one would stand out apart from the other. So I think that's it. Because right now I have both of these unsoloed and I'm playing both of them at the same time and they sound good. So I think that's it. Okay, so we're going to move on. Excuse me. Okay, so this is track 1, reference example 5. Okay, so this is what we need. This is what it's supposed to sound like. Okay, so I'm gonna unsolo this track. We're gonna go to oscillator, synth oscillator, track 2, example 5. We're just gonna solo it, listen to it. Which is kind of interesting. It sounds exactly the same. I think this one's a trick question. I'm pretty sure this one's right where it's supposed to be. And like I said, same with the previous example. When you listen to both of these together, they kind of like mesh really, really well. And that's my like key to understanding that they're the same pitch. Because like, for example, when I pitch this up, right? You see how they clearly don't match? Or same with if I pitch it down. And then the moment I get to two semitones right here, they just mesh. They fade together very well. So that's like my key to understanding that they are the proper pitch. So I think that that was a trick question. I'm pretty sure this one was already correct. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to track one, reference track 1, example number 6. Okay. All right, I immediately know that this has to go up. That was easy. Super easy. Okay, so we got that one done. That's for sure it. Same thing with the last two. You can kind of tell because they mesh. So I'm gonna go back after this. I'm gonna double check the previous examples, but right now I'm pretty sure that is correct. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Reference track 1, example 7. Okay. Okay, it's got to go up instantly. That's it. Man, I feel like I'm starting to get good at these, man. Holy shit. Okay, so we're going to listen to the reference track for example 8. Number 7 is done. So I for sure know that I'm pretty sure 5 through 7, 100% correct. I think I've got 1, 2. I think there's like a couple of these I might have to adjust over here. Just because they have like some different effects that kind of were throwing me off. So I'm going to go back and listen to those again here in a minute. But on to example 8. Okay, so that's our example, our reference track, and then we're going to go and play our synth example that we need to make changes to. All right, instantly has to come down. That's it, right there. -3 semitones. Bingo! Do I have any more coffee left? A little bit. Okay. I'm gonna get some water here in a minute. Alright, so that's for sure done. Camera just overheated. Shit! Man, I'm getting so tired of that fucking happening. Alright, I'm gonna have to cut my camera off because it just overheated. Which is ridiculous. It's not even like it's hot in here. I have it set to 72. Camera overheats at fucking ambient temperature. Give me just 1 second, y'all. I am ordering something right now for my camera so it stops overheating because it's starting to get annoying. Really starting to get bothersome. Alright, so unfortunately, I just had my camera overheat, so I had to go ahead and turn my camera off. I am actually ordering a fan right now on Amazon that'll be here this afternoon, so I don't have that problem happening anymore. But, so we were just on example 8. We've got 2 more examples. Okay, so this is the one that we needed to make changes to. This is our reference track here on example 8 of track 1. Okay, and then if we play both of them at the same time, you can hear they're spot on. And I actually had to adjust this to -3 semitones, so this was before way pitched up, so I had to pitch it back down. And then that's pretty much that for that example, and then we're gonna move on to example 9. Okay, and then we're gonna listen to the reference track. So this is what it needs to sound like here on this example. Also, let me go ahead and zoom in. Just give me 1 second. I'm so used to being able to use Pro Tools that when I come back and I mess around with Logic, I forget exactly how to use Logic. So I miss Pro Tools. Pro Tools is so easy for something like that. R&T is zoom in, zoom out. I kind of miss that. I don't know. Let's see real quick. Just bear with me. Zoom in, zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out. I don't think so. View maybe. I don't know if there's a preset for that. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. Because I really, oh wait, what is that? Zoom. What is that? Shift Command M? Let's see if that works. Hold on. Oh, Control Command M. Nope, that doesn't work. All right, whatever. Okay, so that's our reference track. We're gonna go to oscillator track 2 of the synth. And this is probably gonna have to go up. Absolutely has to go up. So we're gonna bump this up a couple semitones. And then my cheat trick that I was using is basically I'll have both tracks soloed so I can hear both of them at the same time. And then you can kind of hear the difference. They kind of mesh together when they're the same pitch or when they're the same like note. So I'm gonna go ahead and so I'm gonna go ahead and solo this track. All right, that is spot on to me, so I'm pretty sure that is correct. We're gonna move on to the last example, and let me go ahead and order this hopefully last piece of my camera rig.
Small rig before strap this into external power supply. Built-in internal mic, you will probably definitely pick up this fan noise. So for this setup, you'll definitely want to be using a external mic, and there is actually quite a good bit of airflow for a small fan. So no doubt. You just push it in against the spring. The heat transfer pad will stick to
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and order this because I need to get my battery, my camera. For those that don't know, I have a dedicated video camera for my setup, and it likes to overheat. But a couple minutes ago, it did just overheat, so that's why I have my face cam now turned off, and I'm just about to order a fan for my camera setup that should hopefully alleviate the problem of continual overheating, because it's getting a little old. So we're gonna go with this bad boy because it looks like it's got a much nicer heat sink. Let's take a look at that picture. Product dimensions 75 by 52 by 21.5 millimeters. So what we got? 75, 52, 21.5. 75, 52, 21.5. Let's check the... Okay. I might be able to go ahead and turn my camera back on in a little bit, but like I said, it has been overheating recently, so I'm just about to order a fan for my camera, like one that actually goes onto the camera itself. Because I'm tired of my fan overheating. Not cool, not fun, not cool. Yeah, right here. Looks like it's got good reviews, so let's go ahead and order this bad boy. Same day, should be here by the afternoon, which is great. Same day delivery, proceed to checkout. My apologies. I just want to take care of this real quick because like I said, I am getting seriously tired of my camera overheating. I have not to flex it, but I have a several $1,000 camera set up, and the last thing I want to do when I'm trying to stream, record, whatever, is to have the camera overheat. That's not cool. Not cool. So I just placed an order for that fan. It should be here in the afternoon. Hopefully that solves my issue. I'm gonna go ahead and try to turn my camera back on. Just give me 2 seconds. Hold on one second. All right. Video feed should be back in about 3 seconds, and we are indeed back. So yeah, I just went in and I ordered a fan for the camera. Let me go ahead and show you guys real quick before we get back to working on this assignment. And I really, really hope that this does the trick. This is probably one of the better ones I was able to find on the market. And like I said, I hope this does the trick because I am really getting tired of my fan or my camera overheating. Like I said, I've spent far too much money on this camera setup to not be able to use it, especially when I want to record or live stream for several hours. So I'll just show you guys real quick what I just ordered. And so far, the comment section or the reviews seem to be approving of this product. Those that don't know, I use a full frame Sony a7 IV camera body mounted with a lens, and it just is not happy with temperatures. And mind you, I do have a hoodie on, so it's not like it's hot in here. It's 72 degrees. Like, my camera shouldn't be overheating. So that's a couple of pictures of the fan that I just ordered for my camera. It actually goes onto the back section where the LCD screen folds out or folds into. So, small rig, please, I hope this is the last bit of money I have to keep spending on this damn camera rig. You guys don't want to know how much I've spent on my camera rig. It is too much. Anyways, though, that's why we have crispy quality, and I can do something like this. Watch, we can hold up something like this. Snap to focus, do it. See that? See the quality on that? I love it. I love it. That's why I can never go back to a simple webcam ever again. I love this camera, but man, it just does not like me when it comes to overheating. So, like I said, hopefully we have resolved that issue. I really don't care if the camera overheats again, because this will be here by 8 hours from now. well, it's 5 o'clock right now. It says it's supposed to be here from 2 to 6. Call it 8 to 10 hours. So hopefully that resolves our issue. I'm really getting tired of my camera overheating. Anyways, at some point I'm gonna have to upgrade my camera body. This is a Sony a7 IV. For those that don't know, it is almost a $2,500 camera body. If you were just by the body alone without like a kit lens. This is not the kit lens that it comes with, but it comes with a kit lens. I think it's about $2,800 for the kit lens and the body, which is roughly what I paid when I bought the camera. Probably with tax, you're about $3,000, $3,200 out the door. There is another Sony camera that I do look to upgrade to at some point. I just have not had a chance to yet because it is expensive, and I have other ventures like a car that I'm building and things of that nature. And I like to I'd much rather spend money on new camera lenses like this bad boy. Like this is a 20 millimeter. Love this lens. This thing is absolutely gorgeous, especially if I want to vlog or do some wide angle type of stuff. Right now I have the 50 millimeter 1.4 Grandmaster prime lens on the camera, and as you can see, it is amazing for dedicated shots like this. You know what I am gonna do? I'm gonna bump up the fan, and I do not care if the fan gets picked up by the mic. I really don't care. But like I said, it's not even that hot in here. It's 72 degrees. I have a hoodie on and a tank top. Like, I'm not hot. Why is the camera overheating? I'm not even recording on the camera. There's no internal processing other than the camera being on, just sending the video feed to the PC. So anyways, that's enough about my rant about the camera. I'm gonna get back into this assignment. Give me just 2 seconds. Let me go ahead and turn up the fan behind it. I also have a box fan circulating air in here, so it should be keeping the camera from overheating, but apparently not. So I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up like 2 more notches and hope that it does something, because I like to have a video feed that looks this good. Alright, I hope that did the trick. I just turned my fan up 2 more notches. I'm probably going to start getting cold in here, actually. But I also have the other last piece of the camera setup. So I recently had to purchase this, right? So this is two elements here. So we've got a power distribution plate, just because I like to talk about the camera from time to time. So I have a battery distribution plate. This is by Condor Blue. And it's got a swiveling rod block, so I can adjust this to mount on any of these other sides here. We've got D-tap power in and out, so here, and on this side, which I am using one of the D-taps for my dummy battery. So this is a dummy battery from Condor Blue. This allows me to pop it into the camera and power my camera for extended periods of time. Nice little coiled cable, a little stretchy cable. And then this is the power distribution plate. So this allows me to take a big boy cinema camera battery, right? Like this boy right here. Forgot that my camera likes to lock onto face. Every time it sees face, it will lock onto that over anything else. So we got the small rig. I think this is a VB 155. Yeah, VB mini V-mount battery 155. So this is a 155 watt hour V-mount battery. I gotta charge it. And basically it allows me to slot it onto here and power my camera rig for a very long time without having to use the small battery. So for those that don't know, the camera and even the monitor that I have utilize external batteries, and the batteries die so quickly, and they're expensive. They're like $80 for this little camera battery. It's like 2,000 milliamp hours, which for those that don't know, 2,000 milliamp hours is not a lot. It does not last very long. So unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, I had to come up with a solution, because let me grab one more piece of my kit. So this is the other piece of my kit. Now this is very important because I do not shoot internally. I shoot externally to this bad boy right here. So this is a Ninja Atomos monitor. Okay, actually let me go. I forgot I can go full screen, ladies and gentlemen. Shit. All right. And we got the stars in the background on the green screen. So this is a Atomos Ninja monitor. So here on the front side, you can actually see this is a monitor. It's a touchscreen. This is a 5-inch monitor. This used to have a battery though right here. So this is a battery eliminator. But I used to have to run one battery here and then I'd have to run another battery inside of my camera. Well, the main reason I picked this bad boy up also, not only so I had a bigger viewing picture, but also because this records directly to SSDs. So this is a Samsung 870 EVO 2TB SSD. So this has got pretty good read and write speeds. I don't remember what the read and write speed of this bad boy is, but these are pretty affordable. I think you can get these for like 150, maybe 200 bucks. This, not as affordable. This was about 500 to 600 just for this unit, but it is much better than just having a normal monitor because this allows me to record externally via HDMI. So I have a HDMI, another blue Condor blue cable, right, with a little Tilta. I have all Tilta accessories. I love Tilta. Shout out Tilta. Please sponsor me, please. I've spent so much money on camera gear. All jokes aside, TikTok, I am not marketing. I'm not at all situated because TikTok loves to hit me with the restrictions. TikTok, I am not at all affiliated with Tilta, with Small Rig, any of these brands. I just happen to utilize them. Like I said, I just like to tell people what is good, not because I'm getting paid to tell them to do it or to purchase it. Anyways, though, this is some of the gear that I use. I used to have a battery here, and the battery was kind of hefty. So it came with this battery eliminator, which is barrel jack right here to D-tap. So I can now plug in this D-tap into the power distribution block, and that eliminates one battery source. And then we've got of course, the D-tap, which is this side of the cable here. Block my face because it's not going to want to lock onto it. So we got D-tap, which are these two ports or two connectors into the Sony NP-FZ100 battery eliminator, also known as a dummy battery. So this paired with this allows me to not have to have batteries for my camera anymore or my monitor. So pretty sweet. Definitely not cheap, but definitely pretty sweet. And then I've also got the monitor rigged out. So I got this cage, which is basically this little metal or aluminum frame, and it allows me to mount other things onto it. Like I have this, this is a Rode Wireless Pro wireless lavalier mic system. So this is a receiver. Actually, this is a transmitter. So this is a microphone. You can either talk into it, right? Or I could put it on my hoodie, right? Things of that nature. So it allows me to wirelessly transmit my signal from here into the camera, which is pretty sweet. I'm not currently using it. Obviously, I'm using this microphone here in front of me. This is mainly when I'm out shooting content or things of that nature. But these things are pretty sweet, and the cage allows me to mount more accessories onto it. As you see, we got quarter 20 holes with some locking, center locking, locating pins, things of that nature. We also have on this side a HDMI clamp. So this allows me to make sure that the HDMI ports, don't get damaged, and also so that, say I accidentally bump on this or tug on it, I don't pull the HDMI port out, because these, same with the camera. I have the same thing on the other end. That's what this little dangly bit is. This allows me to screw directly into the monitor, the cage on my camera, so that I can have this securely fastened into the HDMI port. The last thing you want to be doing on a expensive camera rig is damaging the HDMI port. Not cool, not cheap, not fun, not cool. So that is my two solutions for not only recording and viewing, but also power. Very, very important. I probably have $1,000 between both of my hands right now. Like I said, not cheap, but it does the trick. Anyways, enough talking about the camera gear. I just happen to like to nerd out about this shit because I find it fun. I find it interesting. Let me go ahead and just plug this stuff in that I just took apart. And yeah, like I said, so these, for those that don't know, SD cards, you typically need SD cards inside of a camera in order to record to them. So like the camera that I use has these proprietary SD cards called CF Express Type A, and they are very, very expensive. So this is 2 terabytes. For those that don't know what a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. So 1,000 gigabytes is 1 terabyte. Now this is 2 terabytes of storage. So this is 2,000 gigabytes of storage. Now, Sony makes a CF Express Type A SD card, 640 gigabytes, so a little bit more than a half of a terabyte, okay? Because 500 would be a half of a terabyte, okay? So 640 gigabytes for $1,000. $1,000. That hurts my wallet, okay? Why do you like to tap my wallet, Sony? I don't know, but I like Sony, so I can't really complain. Man. Anyways, though, so yeah, basically, I had to pay a significant amount for the monitor in order to be able to utilize it, but now I don't have to shoot internally, and I can bypass the entire process of having to pay for expensive SD cards for my camera by utilizing the monitor. And I kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I have a nice large viewing picture here, right? And we also, like I said, we can shoot directly to SSDs. So this is a 2.5 inch or 3 inch 870 EVO VNAND SSD, 2 terabytes of storage. So yeah, does the trick. And like I said, TikTok, do not hit me with a restriction. This is not affiliate marketing. I am not associated with any of these brands at all. This just so happens to be what I use to make the thing happen. The show go around, the content come out, whatever you want to refer to it as. This is just happens to be how I make things work. But yeah, without further ado, that is some of my setup, some of my more recent kit that I've added to the camera rig, the camera setup, and I like it. I like it quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to this assignment. Let me just move this out of the way real quick. The other thing too is I'm going to go ahead and plug in this battery. So let me just pluck this off the V-mount battery plate. Also, this V-mount battery plate, oh my God, I'm so glad I was able to get this before my birthday. For those that don't know, my birthday is coming up. I'm going to be 23 February 9th. And I had to wait to get this thing. I had to wait for probably like 2 weeks just to get this thing. These were back ordered everywhere. I mean everywhere. I'm talking B&H Photo, directly from Condor Blue, BNC Camera, you name it, wherever, AVL Camera Gear, everywhere. They were gone. These did not exist. This is probably one of the best V-mount battery plates on the market, hence why it's sold out everywhere. So I had to place an order for this, and I had to wait about 2 weeks just to get this bad boy. So now that it is here, I love it. I cherish it. It is amazing. Without it, I would not be able to continue making content. So once again, shout out to Condor Blue. Not at all affiliated with Condor Blue, but I love their products. And shoot, I would love to be sponsored by Condor Blue, but maybe that'll be for a day in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in my SmallRig 155 VB155 battery. Go ahead and put it off to the side, let that bad boy charge. We're going to get back into this college assignment that I'm working on. For those that don't know, I am currently enrolled in college for audio production, and that's what I'm working on right here. And we are actually on our last example of this assignment. So here on track 1, labeled reference, we have a example that we need to duplicate for track 2. So I'm going to play reference track 1. Okay, so that's our reference track. That's what it's supposed to sound like, and this is what it currently sounds like. Okay, we're going to play that back one more time. I think I need to go down with it. that's it right there. So I had to bring it down by 2 semitones or 3 semitones because I think it was at +2 or something like that previously. So this was higher over here. So this is the only knob that I need to mess with. Ignore basically everything else going on here in this window, this plugin for the retro synth. The only thing I had to mess with was the semitone. So if I was to go to the right with the knob, aka this way, I would be pitching it up, and I'll let you hear that, what that sounds like. And as I go to the left, it is pitching it down by semitones, one at a time. And the way that I can tell that it is spot on is because when I get the pitch just correctly, when I play back the reference track, they basically mesh and you can hear it. You can hear that there is no distinct difference between the tonal characteristics between the reference track and the example that we need to modify. So let me go ahead and just slide over a little bit so this is in frame and play it again. So you hear how it sounds like it's one thing playing instead of when it's really 2 things playing. But when I have this higher or lower, you can hear the difference. So that's lower, and then we're gonna go higher. You see how it sounds horrible? You can kind of feel when it's just about right. So let me keep going down, and this is exactly how I've been doing this assignment for all 9 previous examples. So you hear how it's close, but it's just not there yet. So as I keep bringing it down, semitones, it is continually getting closer and closer to where where the pitch is just proper, exactly right. And once I get to -2 semitones, that's what this -2s right here is. So that's going to be -2 semitones. So I believe it was like at 5, +5 before. So I brought it down 7 semitones, okay? So that's how it sounds proper now. That's how I know it is 100% right, absolutely, because basically the 2 have meshed. So now I know that they are the same pitch and that there is no difference between the 2, okay? The other thing is too, in reality, I have 2 tracks playing. I have 2 tracks. So I have not only track 1, the reference, but I also have track 2, the oscillator, which is really just the retro synth. And we've been manipulating it here in the oscillator section, okay? Which is why this is also named oscillator, because this is what we're manipulating. It is really a retro synth. You can see it also depicted by this little synth here, okay? And as I brought down this semitone knob, which is what this is here, it says semitones right at the top, right? As I brought this down, you can hear the 2 of them mesh, and that's exactly how I know that it is the proper answer for this here example. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. To example 1, and I'm just gonna play these through. I want to make sure that I got these right. So let me just pull up the retro synth once again, and we're gonna go through example by example, playing them. So that's exactly how I know that that is proper. I believe it or not, I had this wrong at first. So I'm really glad. This is why you always double check your work. Measure twice, cut once. For those that don't know, I graduated high school at a trade school for carpentry. So that's why I use the measure twice, cut once reference. Double check your work before you fuck it up, okay? So I actually had this, if I would have turned in this assignment, I would have had it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to go through, now that I've learned through practice, right, through, what's the word I'm looking for? Trial and error. So now that I've learned through trial and error, I now know that I can use that technique of playing both tracks at the same exact time and pitching down or pitching up via semitone, okay, via semitone to ensure that I have the pitch correct between the reference track, which is what we're trying to copy, and the retro synth oscillator track, okay? It's really a retro synth, but we're manipulating the oscillator via semitone, okay? So, to get the same exact tonal characteristics of the reference track, okay? So this track here, the blue, is what we're trying to make it sound like. The red is what it didn't sound like this when I started. So I need to replicate these to sound exactly the same. Okay, so now that I've done that, we're gonna move on. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna go on to example 2. Bingo, that's it. +6 semitones. The way that I know is because I just manipulated not both of them. The reference track I can't manipulate, but I'm manipulating the semitones on the oscillator of the retro synth, either down or up, and I'm basically just manipulated the semitones until it was proper. And that's simply how I did it. So as I can hear, they both sound together, right? Like they've been married together. Like instead of 2 separate tracks, well, not 4, but 2. Since it's 2 separate tracks, right? Now that's how I know that they are the same. See how you don't hear a difference? Like right now, if I was to tweak this, hear how one's lower and the other one's higher, right? Still not right. Okay, let's keep going. Still not right. Close, not right. Bingo. Spot on. You cannot hear the difference between the reference and the retro synth oscillator track. Okay, bingo. Okay, now we move on. Okay, move on to example 3. Bingo. -3 semitones. That's proper. 100%. Put money on it. Proper. 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 I'm gonna say that's proper. 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 Okay, that's done. That's 100% sure. I am 1 billion% sure. I would bet money on it. Like, no bullshit. I would bet money on it. That is 100% correct, and I will absolutely get 100 on this assignment. If I don't get 100 on this assignment, I will be blown away, in fact. So, now that I am very glad that we went through and we double-checked the assignment, so everything here appears to be proper. I need to, oh man, oh shit. Okay. Whoo. Okay. All right. Now that is now that assignment is done, let me go ahead and move some of this stuff out of the way so I can move this plate. And I'm gonna grab a water here in a minute. Let me just pull over. Let's pull up this. Okay, download the assignment in Logic. Click on track 2, unmute each track. Do not change the tone of the oscillator. Use only the semitones knob on the oscillator. Slowly tune the semitones knob all the way to the left, lowering the pitch and familiarizing your ear with the difference in the sound of the harmonies between the two pitches. Now slowly turn it all the way to the right and do the same thing, raising the pitch. Remember, we are matching to a unison. A unison is 2 notes of the same pitch. Be careful you're not mistaking Be careful you're not mistaking an octave or a harmony as a unison. They must be the same note. Use the solo button to compare the reference with the oscillator. Once you've found the unison note, click on track 4, arm track 4 for recording, and be sure that track 2 is not armed for recording. Okay, once you have found the unison, click on track 4 and arm track 4 for recording, and be sure that the track 2 is not armed for recording. Okay. So let me go ahead and just pull this over to my secondary monitor so I can look at these instructions while I do this. So let's just go back. Okay. Once you've found the unison note, click on track 4. Okay. So we're going to click on track 4. Let's just go back. We're going to arm this for recording, so we're going to click R. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with example 1. Record your example. Once you've found the unison note, click on track 4, arm track 4 for recording, and be sure that track 2 is not armed for recording. Okay, wonderful. Record your example onto track 4, press Option / period to move to the next track to the right. Press Option / comma to move to the left. Let's just try that real quick. What is that again? Option / period, option / oh, that's cool. Oh, no shit. That's kind of interesting. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and record. Let's click R. Okay, so we got this one done. need to delete this region because I did not mean to record that. Alright, so we're gonna solo this track here. Click R and it's gonna record it. Okay, so we're gonna delete this region because it's not proper. I did not realize that as I was manipulating the semitones, it was overwriting some of the previous data that I had recorded or whatever, adjusted. So we're gonna go back and do these track by track. At least I know I'm doing it right now. Okay. Awesome. That's proper. We're gonna solo this track here. Okay, that's proper. So these first two right here are proper. This track, this track. Okay, that's proper. Maybe it's not though, hold on. I don't think it is actually, now that I think about it. Hold on, I need to mess with this oscillator one more time. that's done. Okay, that's done. Okay. Move on to the next track. So we got that recorded. We got three more examples to record, and so far we're almost done. So right now I'm just gonna play back the reference track and the recording we just did. As you can see, they're similar, duplicate. Okay, then we're just gonna keep moving. Let's listen. We'll just solo the reference track, and we'll solo the oscillator, and move on to an example. Alright, you can hear the difference too when it's too high, when the pitch is not correct. So like if I bring this down, watch. You hear the lower, and then you also hear the higher, and then if I go too high, you'll hear the higher and then the lower. And then when I get them just right, you can hear them. Listen to them overlap. So right here, -3. Okay, so that's proper. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and no longer solo the reference track. We're gonna record arm track 4, and we're gonna click R, and it's gonna start recording. And I've got 2 more tracks to do after this. Almost done with this assignment. which is good because it's only about to be 6 in the morning. Yep, 6:04, baby. Sweet. Okay. We can record arm this track no more. We'll solo the reference and the record, make sure they're the same. Okay, they are. And then we can unsolo this track, move on to reference 9. We're going to play this back real quick. And we're going to solo the oscillator. Click on the oscillator, pull up our retro synth plugin. So you hear how they're not the same. You hear how one's deeper and one's higher. So now we're going to pitch this back down a semitone or two, or up. Alright, this is the one that I thought was a trick question, and I believe it is. I'm pretty sure the correct answer is going to be 0 semitones, because if you listen, they both mesh really well, which means that the pitch of them is similar. Okay? So we're going to unsolo the reference track. We're going to record arm our record track, and click R, and it's going to start recording. Alright, so that's done, and we actually don't need take 2, but we can just go ahead and utilize take 1 and minimize that. And then we're just gonna solo the recording and the reference track, make sure they're the same. Believe it or not, I actually think that that's wrong. I think I need to go up like a semitone. Never mind, I think that 0 is correct, actually, now I listen to it back. It's kind of weird because they overlap. I'm going to mess with it a little bit more. Listened to it a couple times. I think it's actually -7. Right? So we'll play that, and then we'll play this. right, so we're gonna delete this region because we don't need it. And then we're just gonna re-record this because I think that's right. I might be wrong on this one, but they're so close, it's kind of hard to tell. Okay, pretty sure that's correct. So, like I said, from here we're just gonna unsolo that last track, go on to reference. That should be 100% correct. So we're gonna solo this track, unsolo the reference track, record arm this track, and we're gonna click R. The only thing that's kind of weird is there's like a flutter effect that's on this reference track, and it's kind of weird because it'll throw you off. You'll think that it. Oh man. Excuse me. You'll think that you're spot on, and it'll end up throwing you off. And it's been kind of throwing me off the last couple of times that I've recorded these. From the reference track over here. Let me take this beanie off too. Let me just double check the camera here, make sure it's not getting hot. Hold on, just bear with me real quick. All right, that should be doing the trick. And yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm done with this assignment. Let's just go back real quick. Let's listen to these recorded tracks. Go one by one. I'm pretty sure that is correct. All right, it says once you've recorded all 10 examples, mute track 2. Okay, so we're gonna mute track 2. We're gonna mute reference track. Don't need to solo it. Make sure no tracks are soloed and only track 2 is muted. Okay, so we don't want any of these tracks soloed, so we can just go back. So I'm gonna just drag this assignment over here because I'm done with it. It has been compressed. Upload that. This is kind of being weird. It's like it's not letting me upload the assignment. It's weird. What the fuck is going on? It's not even due yet. What is going on with this assignment? That's so weird. It's like it's not letting me upload the assignment. Huh. What the fuck is going on right now? What the fuck is going on right now? I don't know what is going on. This assignment is being fucking weird right now. There we go. Now it's letting me upload it. I was like, what is going on? At first it wouldn't let, here, let me drag this back over to my main screen. At first it was not letting me upload this assignment, which is being weird as hell. So without further ado, just go ahead and upload it and submit. All right, cool. There we go. Now that that is done, we're gonna go back to week 3 assignments. So we got creating rhythmic effects, right? This is done. Yep, that's done. We got tuning oscillators, that's done. Okay, we're gonna go back to content. Week 3, advanced quantization. Okay, and then what I'm also gonna do, just so I can get a little bit more real estate on my monitors, I'm gonna go ahead and drag Streamlabs down from here to this monitor. And let me just drag this over. There we go, we got the TikTok chat. I can also drag this over, resize it. Okay, there we go. And now what I can do is I can change my HDMI back to the MacBook. There we go. Now I got full screen. And then what I can do also is let me go ahead and go to lights. Let me turn off my TV brightness, bright light. We'll turn on the green screen light strip, and then I'm also going to turn off the ring light just because I don't really feel like I need it. We'll turn this one up. Alright, that should be good. Okay. Alright. Back in the sequencing technology course, you learned how to quantize MIDI regions in Logic Pro. Remember that MIDI is recording just the information of what you play, not the actual audio, so you can easily change pitch, time, and other parameters with simplicity and no loss in quality. This assignment uses region-based quantize only. We'll be using Logic's playback quantization, which means it's non-destructive and therefore easy to change to a different value. The goal is to see how well you can match the timing of a recorded MIDI region to its corrected audio counterpart. The point is to do this by ear and hear which subdivision correctly quantizes the region to match the audio track. To accomplish this, you will download the Logic session link below. In the Quantize project session, you'll see pairs of named tracks. In each pair, you will time correct the MIDI track to match the corresponding audio track. The audio track is how the MIDI region should correctly sound after the proper quantization has been selected for it. By default, the audio tracks have been muted. Unmute them to hear the corrected audio against the MIDI version. It should sound terrible to your ears. The MIDI region is incorrect and needs to be quantized to match the audio track. Select the MIDI region you want to work on and press Command plus U on your computer keyboard. This will set the cycle to fit the region precisely and automatically loop that region. Mute the MIDI region. Listen several times on the corrected audio track and get used to how it sounds and feels. This is how we want the MIDI region to sound. Now mute the audio track and listen to the MIDI region. Do you hear the problem? If not, repeat the process. With the region selected, press set the cycle. As with all these assignments, this requires counting the example correctly. What is the fastest subdivision in this musical example? This is where the most accurate quantization will come from. Are the fastest notes quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, triplets? Look for quantization in the region inspector box in the upper left side of Logic's main window. Now scroll through the quantize menu and try some of the settings until the MIDI region matches the audio track perfectly. Alternate between muting the MIDI and audio guide tracks as you try out different quantized settings. Remember, there are no swing settings in any of these examples. You'll probably remember that the M key on your computer keyboard is a key command to toggle mute for a track. Always learn your key commands. Once you've selected the correct match, make sure quantize remains selected before moving on to the next example. Note that there are no swing settings used in the assignment. We've created 2 examples to get you up and running. Select the example base region and press Command U to set the cycle points in cycling. Press play, spacebar to hear the playback. Mute the MIDI region and unmute the audio guide track. Listen until you can get the proper count for the example and try to ascertain what subdivision value the fastest notes, smallest value are. If you want the metronome for a guide, the K key on your computer keyboard will toggle it on and off. Now mute the audio track and listen to the MIDI region to compare. Go to the region parameter inspector to choose different quantization values. You can change these at any time to try out different values. Listen carefully to how each subdivision setting affects the musical phrase, which one matches best. When you have that one When you have one that you think is correct for the part, unmute the audio guide to hear if the 2 regions play back exactly the same. Does the correct subdivision match the way you were counting the phrase? If not, can you adjust your quarter note count to match the quantized subdivision? If they match, you can move on to the next region in the logic session. If not, you should try to listen to just the corrected audio guide region to get the feel of the part and try counting with it. Remember to use the counting techniques you've learned this month to help, and then select the proper quantization value. The correct value above is 1/8 notes. Just by counting the bass notes on the corrected version, there are no faster, smaller divisions than an 1/8 note playing. Technically, a 16th note could work too, but since there are no 16 notes being played in the part, the correct answer is the 1/8 note quantization. You need to select the appropriate quantization value based on the fastest notes in the phrase. Nothing faster, smaller, or slower, larger for this assignment. It's a requirement. Let's try another. Select the example drums region and do the same process described above. Okay, so we're going to grab this real quick. We're going to download that. All right, cool. So we don't have to actually turn in this assignment. We just basically have to do this, take a screenshot, and get it done. So I'm pulling up the logic session. I'm going to take these instructions and pull them back over to my monitor on the right side. And then let's just click download because apparently I'm missing a couple of things. I'm going to click back over here real quick. Use fingerprint. There you go. Okay, so All right, so I think I know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to take a break here in a minute so I can do some more research, because I think my camera is starting to act a little wonky. So here in a minute, I'm gonna actually jump out. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm probably gonna be back in a little bit. I have to figure out what setting I have to change on my camera, because I could already see it's being a little weird. So here in a minute, I'm going to be ending the live, but thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm going to take a little break too, probably make another cup of coffee, because believe it or not, I'm starting to get a little tired again, but I am going to jump out for a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in. We've already knocked out some of the college assignments, so thankfully I've got this one to work on, which I'm also going to play through this, take a look at it, and then like I said, I'll be back in here in a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in. JDMJ, something I don't usually do, but I already got to take care of it, so I'm at her as well. But